This is a Flying Cow production. Well, hello, and welcome back to Movie Battles, where we take the very best in Disney Pixar trivia and we put them head to head here on the Flying Cow. I am Clay Johnson, your host, the Flying Cow himself, and here with me today to call this match is sensational Sorsha Masters, if I can remember what her name is. How are we doing, Sorsha?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well myself. I am excited about today's match. We have the debut of two new players. We have the litigator, Loren Collins, and the Spaniard, David Garcia. I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh yeah, this is going to be exciting. We love getting new players.
We absolutely do. We've been inviting quite a few recently. Few. We'll have to do something with them at some point. But for now, they are making their debut, and I'm sure both of them are excited to prove their Disney knowledge. So before we bring them in, want to go ahead and give credit where credit is due. First of all, the format for this show was sourced from the movie Trivia Schmodown. So if you enjoy this, go check them out at theschmodownlive.com and let them know that the cow sent you. And also don't forget to check out the Flying Cow podcast feed on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's all there for all talking all about movies and television shows. It's a lot of fun. And as always, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so at the Flying Cow Pod on Spotify and Twitter, and the Flying Cow Pod at gmail.com is where you can email me. And as always, if you can't remember that, it's just on the banner right above me. Yeah, not hard. All right. Well, what do you say, Sorsha? We go ahead and bring these competitors in, get this match going.
Let's do it.
All right. Introducing first, making his debut. His favorite films in the genre include The Great Mouse Detective, The Incredibles, and Ratatouille. If he can't beat you, well, he just might sue you. He is the litigator, Loren Collins. How are we doing today, Loren?
Doing good today, Clay. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm excited to have you making your debut here at Movie Battles. How are you feeling about that?
I'm nervous but excited.
Yeah. Are you confident about your Disney knowledge?
I was until I started watching some of the other episodes of this show.
Yeah. I mean, some of the competitors in here are pretty intimidating, and we've got some pretty tough questions. But I'm sure that you are no slouch yourself, and I'm looking forward to see what you bring to the table.
All right, thanks. I look forward to it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring your competitor in then. There we go. All right. And his opponent, also making his debut in Movie Battles. His favorite films include Aladdin, Hercules, and The Sword in the Stone. He is the Spaniard, David Garcia. How we doing, David?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is a different kind of match that I am used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you've never done a strictly Disney Pixar match before, have
No,
you? Or maybe you have.
no, no.
No?
When you can ask anyone in the fan league community, and
Mhm.
when they think about me, they won't think Disney.
No?
No, I am a geek player. I am a Star Wars player, a Star Wars champion. I
Oh, nice.
played Wizarding World. Never straight up Disney, but I love it.
All
I
right.
don't. It's not my main focus, but I have to study for another league. So let's see how it
All
goes.
right. All right. Yeah, let's see. I mean, I will say I know it's owned by Disney, but there are no Star Wars
Yeah, I know.
questions here.
I
Um,
know.
but we will see how you do in the straight up Disney and Pixar animation. So it sounds to me, Sorcia, like we have two players that are excited, but a little uncertain what to expect.
They seem to be, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring Loren back in here. All right. And let's go ahead and get into the rules of round number one. All right. So the rules for round number one. 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write down their answer. Answers must be spoken aloud while revealing your response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 questions correct, they will have a perfect round and receive a 1-point bonus question. Competitors also receive three repeats that they can use throughout the match. So if you didn't hear something or you just need a little bit more time, you can ask for a repeat. But remember, you only have 3. Each competitor also has a challenge that they can use throughout the match. If they disagree with any ruling, you can challenge the question. If your challenge is upheld, then you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. Do we have any questions going into round number one?
Not so far.
All right.
Nope.
All right. Then, competitors, are you ready?
Ready?
All right. Sorcia, are you ready?
Very ready. Let's do this.
All right. Then I don't know about you, but I feel like a movie battle. Action begin. All right. We are going to start with round number one. Question number one in the realm of early classics. These are, of course, the films of the 30s and the early 40s. And your question. In the film, what type of animal delivers Dumbo to his mother? Have you seen Dumbo, Sorcia? Is it a film you enjoy?
I have. It's been a while. I actually choreographed a number to Baby 2 years ago for some of my dance students.
Oh, cool. So you used it for some of the songs for your dancing. That's awesome. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Loren, we are going to start with you. What is your response?
I think it was a stork.
Stork is correct for 1 point. And David?
Stork.
All right. So right off the bat, they're both tied 1-1 going into question number 2.
Yes. Question number 2 comes from the Renaissance, mostly the 90s. Your question. In Tarzan, what is the name of his gorilla friend voiced by Rosie O'Donnell? Such a good movie.
Yeah, you like this one?
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that I enjoy, but it's like right on the cusp of that Renaissance dark times period.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, David, we're going to start with you. What is your answer?
Turk.
Turk is correct. And Loren?
Turk.
All right.
Turk is also correct.
All right. So no flies on these guys. Already
Nope.
2 and 2. Going into question number 3 in the category of the dark times. These are the films of the 2000s. All right. In what film will you find characters such as Cookie, Mole, and Kida? These
You know, I really feel like this movie did not get enough love when it came out.
I mean, one could say that about a lot of the films of the 2000s. I mean,
That is
it was
true.
definitely a transition time for Disney. In
It
5,
was.
4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Loren, we're starting with you.
Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
That is correct. Subtitle and everything. All right, David.
I don't have a cool voice like him to like say it, but Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
Hey, you've got the accent. That's always
I do have an
bonus.
Accent, yes.
All right, so we're still tied at 3 points going into question number 4.
All right, question 4 in the category of Pixar. What is the name of the lead character who befriends a small human boy in The Good Dinosaur?
Yeah, we're asking a lot. We're now asking them to remember The Good Dinosaur,
Which wasn't the most memorable of Pixar films.
No,
it wasn't bad either. Like
that wasn't bad.
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, we're going to start with David. Answer. Arlo is correct. And Loren?
I just went with the only dinosaur I knew who had children friends, Barney.
You know what? Much more memorable dinosaur. Much more memorable. So can't
Sadly, Barney
there.
is not correct though.
No. Yeah, I mean, I will say though, Arlo. Who remembers the name Arlo? That's like, who names their child Arlo?
That's
Woody
true.
Guthrie. Woody Guthrie named his son Arlo.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into question number 5 in the category of the decline and wilderness. These are the films of the 60s through the 80s. And your question. In the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, what is the name of the place where Pooh and all of his friends live? I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid. Like I was obsessed.
Oh, so was I.
Yeah.
I think every child goes through a period of being obsessed with them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Pens down. Loren, we're going to start with you, sir.
Pooh and company lived in the 100-acre wood.
That is correct. And it seems like David just realized. What did you have, David?
The 100-acre forest, not acre. Yeah.
No, not quite. Not quite. All right. So we are again tied. David had a 2-point lead there for a second, or a 1-point lead there for a second, but Loren has tied it back up going into question number 6.
Yes. Question number 6. The category is package films of the 1940s. Your question. In which package film will you find appearances by famous ventriloquist Edward Burgeon and his friend Charlie McCarthy?
I will say it's Edgar Bergen. Just
Bergen. Oh my God.
it's all right.
I have
Edgar
heard so many
Bergen.
people say Bergen or Bergen. It's
Honestly, that's not the thing. I just wanted to make sure they knew it was Edgar, not Edward. That might be thought of as a different person, but they have the information, and we're going to get their answers in 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, all right. We've got a repeat. Okay, so David is using a repeat. So Sorsha is going to repeat that question.
all right. Bleh. In which film will you find appearances by famous ventriloquist Edgar Bergen and his friend Charlie McCarthy?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, David, we are going to start with you. What is your answer?
Fun and Fancy Free.
Fun and Fancy Free is correct. And Loren?
I went with Fun and Fancy Free.
Which is
All
also
right.
correct.
All right. So looks like David used that repeat wisely. And I'm not sure if Loren knew that or if he just had a really good guess. But they both get it correct. Moving into question number 7, they are currently tied at 5 apiece. And that sees them with a question in the classics, the films of the 1950s. And the question: in Cinderella, what color is Cinderella's original ball gown designed by the mice and birds? Kind of a deep pull for round number 1, but you never know what's going to happen here.
You said
yeah.
ball gown, right? Like
the dress, yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, we're going to get those answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Loren, we're going to start with you.
I want to say it's pink.
Pink is correct. Pink is correct. So now we are going to hear from David. Did he have pink as well?
I don't want to say it's pink.
Pink, absolutely. All right, so they are tied at 6 apiece going into the final question of round number 1. Neither one can get a perfect round, so there's no bonus, but there might be some bragging rights here. Let's see if they can get 7 out of 8 in this round.
All right. Question number 8. In the category of CG Revolution, the 2010s. Your question: who provided the voice of Vanellope von Schweetz in Wreck-It Ralph? Wow, I haven't watched that in so long.
This is one of those movies that even if I haven't seen it in a while, when I go back to it, I instantly remember it, and it's great. I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
In 5, 4, 3,
Repeat.
2. Okay, repeat.
Okay.
That was Loren.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right, repeat for Loren. Your question: who provided the voice of Vanellope von Schweetz in Wreck-It Ralph?
Sometimes you just need a second to gather yourself, gather your faculties. Just pull that name from the back of your mind to the front of it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, we're going to start with David. What is your answer?
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman is correct. And Loren?
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman is correct.
Looks like both competitors used their repeats very wisely, both pulling those questions that they weren't quite sure of. They got them. So we have a tie currently of 7-7 heading into round number 2. All right. In round number 2, also known as the wheel round, each competitor will spin the wheel. You get up to 2 spins. If you do not like your first spin, you can choose to spin again, unless, of course, you land on opponent's choice, in which case you are stuck with whatever category your opponent gives you. You will have 4 questions from that category. Questions are worth 2 points in this round. Multiple choice is available. However, if you choose to go to it, the value will drop to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if their competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect in this round. Do we have any questions going into round number 2? No? All right. Then, David, you are the favorite coming in, so you have a decision to make. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Loren?
I'll spin first.
You'll spin first. All right. So let us go ahead and bring up the wheel. All right. So, David, this spin is for you. All right. David's hoping for a strong category to give him a lead in this match. Let's see what we get. Looks like you have landed on princesses. These are questions about any princess, not just the ones that Disney labels as Disney princesses, but any princess in the Disney or Pixar catalog.
There are 2 things on there that I don't want, but let's, you know what, as now Schmodown competitor Jacobi Bancroft like to say, fortune favors the bold. Spin that wheel again.
Spin the wheel. All right. Let us spin the wheel and see if it pays off for David. Let's see. Round and round it goes. Where is it going to stop? Oh, that may have paid off. Looks like, yes, you got spinner's choice, David. So you get your choice of categories. Do you need me to read those off for you again?
Actually, yes, please.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we have directors, Renaissance, classics, movie quotes, the CG revolution, early Pixar, scores and soundtracks, early classics, princesses, or mixed bag.
This would really backfire, but give me classics.
Classics. All right. So David is opting for the films of the 1950s, the classics era. So he is going to receive 4 questions in the category of classics.
All right.
All right. And all right. So I'm going to be reading these for you, David. All right. So 4 questions in the category of classics. And your first question is, in Sleeping Beauty, Aurora's dress keeps changing back and forth between which 2 colors?
Pink and blue.
Pink and blue is correct for 2 points. All right. So then moving into question number 2, the category of classics. In the film, which of Cinderella's mouse friends gets trapped under a teacup?
Gus.
Gus?
Gus.
Gus is correct for 2 points. All right. Moving into question number 3, your penultimate question in this round. Catherine Beaumont provides the voice of Alice, and what other classic era character?
Multiple choice.
All right. And your options are, all right, is it A, Cinderella, B, Aurora, C, Lady, or D, Wendy? Five, four.
Wendy.
Wendy is correct for 1 point. All right, doing pretty well. Now going into the final question in the category of classics. In Lady and the Tramp, what causes Lady to run away?
So how
5.
specific do you want the answer?
I mean, you don't have to like give me like license plate numbers or anything
All
like
right.
that.
So
but
I mean, all right. So a rat attacks the baby, and the lady who's watching the house doesn't see the rat and blames lady on the mess on the room, and she gets upset.
that is actually incorrect.
Okay.
Okay. So, Loren, you're going to get the opportunity to steal. So I'm going to re-ask the question. You do not have the option of multiple choice because David did not go to multiple choice, but you do have the answer, the option to steal. So here we go. In Lady and the Tramp, what causes Lady to run away?
She chases a car.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer we were looking for is they try to muzzle her.
Oh, right, because of the rat thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The rat actually
Mhm.
comes in later towards the end of the film.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So no points there, but also no steals. So not doing too bad. David got 2 outright and went to multiple choice on 1. So currently you lead with a score of 12-7. You got 5 points in that round. Not bad. Not bad at all. So Loren now has the opportunity to see if he can gain and build a lead. So let's go ahead and bring up the wheel for him. All right, can you see the wheel?
I can, yes.
All right, so this spin is for you. Obviously, Loren is looking for a strong category. It's his first time here, so we don't know what he's looking for specifically, but let's see if it's movie quotes. So, Loren, you get the opportunity. Would you like to stay with movie quotes or would you like to spin again?
Let's stay.
You're going to stay. All right.
All right.
So we are going to go ahead and we are going to bring up 4 questions in the category of movie quotes.
All right. And I will be delivering these questions to you. So, your first question. In what film will you find the quote, "That might sound boring. I think the boring stuff is the stuff I remember the most"?
In 5,
5,
4,
4, 3.
The Rescuers.
Unfortunately, The Rescuers is incorrect.
All right. So David,
Mhm.
I will read you the question again. Unfortunately, you do not have a choice of multiple choice. In what film will you find the quote, "That might sound boring, but I think the boring stuff is the stuff I remember the most"?
Oh, wait. Pixar is in these two.
in 5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2.
Moana.
Unfortunately, Moana is incorrect. No, the correct answer was Up.
Oh, right. I knew it was Pixar.
All right. So
All right, so we are moving on to question number 2 for Loren.
yeah, and let's don't forget that you do have multiple choice and repeats.
Yes. All right, question number 2. The quote, "I never look back, darling, it distracts me from the now," can be found in what film?
Multiple choice.
Okay.
All right. Your multiple choice options are: is it A, 101 Dalmatians, B, The Incredibles, C, The Rescuers, or D, A Bug's Life?
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles is correct.
All right, got 1 point on that.
All right.
Yep.
We are moving into question number 3 for Loren. And your question is, what film features the quote, "I don't want to survive, I want to live"?
Multiple choice.
All right. Your options are: is it A, Wall-E, B, The Emperor's New Groove, C, Toy Story 4, or D, Atlantis: The Lost Empire?
Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. But David, you do have the option to steal. So I'll read you the question and the options again. What film features the quote, "I don't want to survive, I want to live"? Is it A, Wall-E, B, The Emperor's New Groove, C, Toy Story 4, or D, Atlantis: The Lost Empire?
Wall-E.
Wall-E is correct for 1 point.
All right. So gained 1 and lost 1.
Hey.
All right.
All right.
One more question.
We are moving into the last question for Loren. Your final question for round 2. In what film will you find the quote, "Ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them"? That's a hard one to read in a straight voice. I know it well.
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. So, David, reading the question for you one more time. In what film will you find the quote, "Ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them"?
The Aristocats.
The Aristocats is correct.
For a 2-point steal. All right. So, not the best of rounds for Loren, unfortunately. It's all right. It's all right. First time, I will say first timers almost always get taken by movie quotes. They think it's going to be something different than it is.
That is exactly what it is.
Yeah. There is a reason why everyone hates it in the front.
Yeah. All right. So we currently have David leading 15 to Loren's 8. So we have a 7-point deficit going into round number 3, but it's still anybody's game. You never know what can happen in round number 3. So let's bring up those rules. All right. In round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. So, do we have any questions going into round number 3?
Nope.
All right. So, David, you are currently in the lead going into this round. So, what 3 numbers would you like to choose?
2, 3, and 11.
All right. So, number 2, number 3, and number 11. All right. And Loren, what about you?
I'll take 5, 16, 17.
5, 16, and 17. All right. So, like I said, David currently has a 7-point lead. So Loren is going to have to answer most of his questions in order to fight off the TKO and push this back to David. So we're going to start off with Loren's 2-point question. All right. And you chose the number of 5. That number relates to the category of The Decline. Okay, these are the films of the 60s and 70s. All right. And your question for 2 points. In The Sword and the Stone, what insulting name do they use to refer to the boy throughout the film?
Boy.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Wart. Wart. They call him Wart. All right. So that was the last one that Loren can miss if he wants to push it back to David. We are moving into the third 3-point question. And in order to avoid the TKO, he needs to get this and his 5-point question. All right. So you chose number 16.
Mm-hmm.
And that relates to the category of movie release dates. All right. So the years in which films were released. And your question for 3 points. And to stay alive and avoid the TKO. In what year was Pixar's The Good Dinosaur released?
Because I've done so well with good dinosaur questions up till now. That's right. It's crap. All right.
You got a couple seconds. You can think it through. And you've only used 1 repeat. You've got 2 more.
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3.
2006.
And your winner by TKO.
Oh, darn it.
David, the Spaniard, Garcia. The answer was 2015. 2015. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit more recently. Yeah. All right. Well, tough match. Loren, great match from you, David. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys turn off your cameras. And I will bring you both back in shortly for your post-match interviews. All right. Well, that was quite the match. I gotta say, I feel bad for Loren. Obviously, he thought that movie quotes was going to be a little bit more manageable than it ended up being. And I mean, it just ended up sinking him.
I mean, when you think of movie quotes, you think those iconic movie quotes,
right.
Not Up or it's hard for me to say Incredibles because I love Edna Mode.
Sure.
But
yeah,
and those
you might get a couple of those here and there, but the majority of them are going to be those kind of in the weeds.
The deep dive questions.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring Loren back in here. Unfortunately, not the winner today, but I will say, especially in that first round, quite impressive. Like I was really, really hoping that you would be able to show off your stuff. Unfortunately, you just got that tough category in movie quotes. How are you feeling?
A little disenchanted there, but I learned my lesson. It's
it's rough. I mean, I will say I'm wondering how did you fare any better on David's questions? What was his category? He had
what was it? Classic.
Yeah, classics. How did you feel about that one?
I can't remember all his questions. Better than I did on mine.
Sure. So, it sounds to me like you just needed a better category. You needed a stronger spin at that wheel. I mean, like I said, unfortunately, it was your first time in, so you didn't necessarily know how deep dive the movie quotes were going to go. You opted to stay with it instead of spinning again. I'm assuming if you had it to do over, you would probably have spun again.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. It's...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's the way it is. It's just the luck of the draw. And then, unfortunately, you ended up with 2 questions in your third round that you also just weren't able to get there. Were you anywhere close with Wart and just didn't have time, or did you just
no I mean, when you said it rang, immediately rang a bell. I wouldn't have been able to pull it out of my memory. Gotcha. Also, one day I should probably actually watch The Good Dinosaur, since that did not help me at all.
Yeah, it's one of those that like I rewatched it because I write questions. That's about it. It's okay. It's
fine.
Not a horrible movie, but it's definitely not one of Pixar's best. But yeah.
So I've heard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, unfortunately, you didn't have the strongest showing today, but I'm hoping that we might see you back here at some point.
I'd love to be back if you'll have me. Yeah.
Absolutely. We definitely would like to have you back, and hopefully next time you can know to spin again when you need to, and get a better category on that wheel.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring in the Spaniard, David Garcia. How we doing, David? How you feeling having a win under your belt?
Yeah, it's always great to start with a win on a new league. It's great. I do feel a little bad, because I think today was one of those days where experience helped me.
Sure.
So I could see that sometimes Jack didn't go to multiple choice when I think the game with more games under his wing, I think Loren, I'm looking at the wrong name.
It's fine.
I think Loren will be a great player, because I think he showed his broad knowledge in round 1.
Yeah, he definitely has potential. Like I said, he just got a tough spin on that wheel.
I'm a little pissed about The Lady and the Tramp. I love that movie. I just haven't rewatched it in a while. I remembered both like events, but I guess I mixed them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy I got the win. I didn't need to answer round 3 questions.
Yeah,
so,
you got that TKO. So I have to ask, you've been watching some of the matches, you're aware of some of the players here. Is there anybody that you've got your eye on? Anybody that you might be looking to challenge?
Actually, so I am in a faction in another league with one Nazario Montenegro.
Okay.
And I saw his last match.
Yeah.
Give me Brian.
Oh, you want Brian? Okay, so you want to avenge Nazario. You want Brian.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we might be able to make that happen. We never know. All right. I gotta say though, I love the moxie. Love the moxie. All right. So yeah, like I said, we'll be looking forward to seeing your next match, David, whoever it might be against.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. We'll see you. We'll see you then. All right. Well, Sorsha, that was quite the match. Unfortunately, I mean, it looked like it was going to be very competitive there in the early going. And then unfortunately, I mean, I think David said it all. Experience really won the day here. You know, he had a little bit more experience under his belt, knew to spin away and get classics, something that he was able to do pretty well in. And Loren, unfortunately, just you know, had a different thing in his mind, you know, with movie quotes. But hopefully next time he can show what he's got, because I like I said, I definitely see some strong potential there. I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
As am I. And I mean, it was a difficult category when you don't think of it in terms of the iconic movie quotes.
Right. Yeah. It can be some difficult pulls. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, Sorsha, for helping me out today. It's always great to have you on the table. And thanks to everyone who is watching. We will have some more matches coming up, introducing new players, new competitors, you know, rounding out this league. It's going to be exciting stuff. So as always, stay here, stay watching, and remember, move.
Moo.